Hey guys, this is Dini Mere. So I watched the 4th episode of Jujutsu Kaisen Culling Game arc, where Maki's transformation finally happens. But it wasn't a normal power-up. It came at a cost of something very important and personal. On paper, this episode has everything. Incredible animation, smooth direction, and a major plot point for Maki's character. And yet it struggled in emotional department. So in this video I want to break down what worked, what didn't, and why this movement failed to create an emotional impact on the audience it was clearly aiming for, despite having such an incredible high budget animation. Before talking about animation or direction, we need to understand why this episode is so important for Maki's character and what it aimed to make us feel. In Jujutsu Kaisen, every main character has their moments or incident where their mindset changes and they become more powerful than they were before. For Yuta, it was JJK Zero. It was delivered amazingly, not only animation wise but emotionally too. The guilt, the pain, we felt all of that in that movie. For Megumi, it was 23rd episode where he changed his mindset and opened an incomplete domain. It was proof that Megumi risked his life to win a situation, not die just to use his trump card and solve the situation. For Yuji, it was when Nanami died in season 2 and Todo gave him a new perspective on who the sorcerers are and how they should honor the legacy of the fallen heroes. For Maki, it was this moment. She finally has broken free of the shackles of Zenin clan, and not only that, she has also lost someone very important in the process. And when a story follows this pattern so consistently, it becomes impossible not to notice when one moment doesn't hit the same way. But first, we need to talk about Zenin clan, a family that judged its own people by their curse technique, worshipped hereditary curse techniques, and mistreated anyone who didn't follow their rules. One of the best examples of this mindset is Toji Fushiguro or Toji Zenin. He was born into Zenin clan without a single trace of curse energy. Instead of accepting him, they rejected him, abused him, and eventually lost all of the control over him. This episode shows how much the members of Zenin clan feared Toji. One member of Hei's squad even states that if Toji wanted, he could have wiped out the entire clan by himself. And in Maki's case, once Megumi was appointed as clan head, the elders knew Maki would return to collect the curse tools. They saw this opportunity to eliminate Maki, Mai, and even Megumi. The worst part, Maki and Mai's own father knew about this, and he still chose to carry out this plan himself. He doesn't care about his daughters at all. He decided to finish the job himself because he was still bitter that he never became the clan head of the Zenin clan. Before talking about why this episode didn't land emotionally, it is important to acknowledge what MAPPA actually did right. From a production point of view, this episode was extremely well made. The animation was detailed, clean and fluid, especially during Maki's movement and combat. Every hit felt heavy and grounded. The character design of each of the Zenin clan family member was amazing and they looked menacing. The direction also leaned into a very dark and restrained atmosphere. There was minimal dialogue, long silences that matched the situation perfectly. Visually, Maki felt terrifying from the Zenin clan point of view, and that's exactly where problem begins. This episode was not about power or how many clan members you can actually kill. It was about grief, anger and sadness that Maki felt after her twin sister ended her own life to make Maki more powerful. All of that animation works when you have a strong emotional background. Without that, it's just another anime with a lot of fight scenes. To understand why this episode needed more emotional weight, we need to talk about Mai, a character who is often misunderstood. When Maki left the Zenin clan, she didn't take Mai with her. She didn't explain her decision properly. She didn't try to convince Mai. She simply left. When they were younger, Maki promised Mai that they would always stay together. But by leaving the clan, Maki broke that promise. That's why Mai was always angry around Maki. Not because she hated Maki, but because she felt abandoned. She was left behind in a clan that despised her while Maki escaped. This was not a new information for Maki. But still in the end, Mai made a conscious decision. She sacrificed herself to remove the last restriction on Maki, not out of weakness, but out of love for her sister. That decision should have shattered Maki emotionally. And this emotional gap becomes even more noticeable when you look at episode's direction, especially the use of music and silence. The creator of this episode clearly chose minimalistic approach, minimal dialogue, minimal exposition, and very limited use of background music. And in the first half of the episode, this approach actually works when Maki is fighting her own father. The silence feels heavy, uncomfortable, and cold. Beautifully executed, exactly how it should feel. But the problem begins during the Maki's fight against Kukuru's unit. At this point, there is no visible grief or suppressed rage behind her actions. It doesn't feel like she is lashing out after losing her sister. It feels like she is simply going through the motions, almost enjoying it. The music during these scenes doesn't elevate the tragedy. Instead, it lightens the atmosphere, which directly clashes with what the moment is supposed to represent. This wasn't supposed to be a cool action sequence, it was supposed to be an emotional breaking point or emotional breakdown. I really don't like comparing different anime, but there are few anime with similar situation and they executed it far better. There were few problems in the episode and let's discuss them thoroughly. First, lack of emotions. This episode lacked emotional impact. I read the manga too and I can't blame everything on MAPPA because they don't have much to work with. And I can't really blame Gege Akutami either because we all know how limited time mangaka are given to complete their stories. But this is where anime original moments improve the story. Spoilers for Hell's Paradise. The anime doesn't have a lot of episode, so there's not a lot of chance to show characters' backstory. They added few additional scenes to Tenza's backstory and managed to make us emotionally invested in him within 2 episodes. The irony is that Hell's Paradise is also animated by MAPPA, so we know that anime original editions, when used correctly, can elevate the emotional impact. Second, bad choice of OST. In this episode, the choice of OST when Maki is fighting the Kukuru unit was a big letdown. This is a moment where Maki is supposed to be grieving, she is sad and angry. But the music and the movement of Maki while fighting doesn't match the situation. Spoilers from Hunter x Hunter. When Uvogin died, all the members of Phantom Troop were mourning. At that time they attacked Mafia bodyguards. The creator of that episode used minimal elements. The OST used was Mozart Requiem, which clearly showed that they were grieving and perfectly matched the situation. Third, lack of anger. This is a big point. Maki and Mai both struggled a lot while they were in Zen clan. Not only that, Mai sacrificed herself to make her sister stronger so that she could unlock her full potential and survive anyone coming after her. The problem with that execution is that they didn't show Maki's anger. It felt like Maki was doing this for no particular reason. Spoilers for Attack on Titan and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. In Levi's backstory, when he found out that an abnormal Titan killed his friend, he unleashed hell on that Titan. The OST in that scene was minimal, with Levi screaming. That scene showed how important those friends were to Levi. In Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, when Roy Mustang found out that Envy killed Hughes and when he finally met her, his anger while executing Envy showed us how important Hughes was to Mustang. These were the reason why I felt this episode didn't fully reach the audience. It was well animated and there's no denying that. But a lot of important things were missing. This episode was never meant to be about power or spectacle. It was about grief, anger and loss. And without fully capturing those emotions, even the best animation can't leave a lasting impact.